First contact. Dr. Ilara Vance stood at the observation deck of the International Space Station, her emerald eyes fixed on the vast expanse of stars beyond the reinforced glass. At 32, she was the youngest xenobiologist to ever set foot on the ISS, her groundbreaking research on theoretical alien biology earning her a coveted spot on humanity's frontier in space. As she gazed out at the cosmos, Ilara couldn't shake the feeling that something extraordinary was about to happen. Little did she know, her intuition was about to be proven right in the most spectacular way imaginable. The comm system crackled to life, startling Ilara from her reverie. "Dr. Vance, please report to the command center immediately." The urgency in Captain Jung's voice was unmistakable. Ilara's heart raced as she made her way through the station's narrow corridors. When she arrived at the command center, she found it buzzing with activity. Screens flickered with data streams, and the air was thick with tension. Captain Jung, a stern-faced woman in her 50s, turned to Ilara as she entered. "Dr. Vance, we've detected something unusual. I think you want to see this." On the main view screen, a series of waveforms pulsed in a rhythmic pattern. To the untrained eye, it might have looked like routine space noise, but Ilara's trained gaze caught the artificial nature of the signal immediately. "Is that?" Ilara's voice trailed off, hardly daring to speak the words. Captain Jung nodded gravely. "We believe it's a signal of intelligent origin. Not from Earth, not from any of our probes or satellites. Dr. Vance, we may be looking at humanity's first contact with an alien civilization." The room fell silent as the weight of the moment settled on everyone present. Ilara's mind raced with possibilities. Everything she had studied, every theory she had proposed about alien life, was suddenly on the verge of being proven or disproven. "Where is it coming from?" Ilara asked, her voice barely above a whisper. One of the technicians spoke up. "We've triangulated the signal to a star system about 40 light-years from Earth. It's in the habitable zone of a red dwarf star." Captain Jung turned to Ilara, her expression a mix of excitement and apprehension. "Dr. Vance, given your expertise, we'd like you to lead the team analyzing this signal. Your insights could be crucial in understanding what we're dealing with." Ilara nodded, her mind already racing with the implications. "I'll need access to all the data we have, and I'll want to assemble a team of linguists and cryptographers. If this is a message, we need to decipher it." Over the next few weeks, Ilara and her hastily assembled team worked tirelessly to unravel the mysteries of the alien signal. Sleep became a luxury as they pored over data, ran simulations, and debated theories. Slowly but surely, patterns began to emerge. "It's not just random noise," Ilara explained during a briefing with top officials from various space agencies. "There's a clear structure to it. We believe it's a language, or at least a form of communication." The revelation sent shockwaves through the scientific community and soon the world at large. Humanity stood on the precipice of a new era, and Dr. Ilara Vance found herself at the center of it all. As the weeks turned into months, progress on deciphering the message was slow but steady. Ilara's team managed to isolate what they believed to be individual words or concepts within the signal. The breakthrough came when they realized the message contained mathematical constants, universal concepts that any advanced civilization would recognize. "It's an invitation," Ilara announced one day, her eyes shining with excitement. "They're inviting us to respond, to make contact." The news sparked a global debate. Should humanity answer? What if the aliens were hostile? What if this changed everything we thought we knew about our place in the universe? In the end, the decision was made. Humanity would respond, and Ilara found herself selected to lead the mission that would change the course of human history. The preparation for the mission was intense. A new spacecraft, the Horizon, was fast-tracked for construction. It would be humanity's most advanced vessel, capable of faster-than-light travel using experimental technology based on theories of warp drives and Einstein-Rosen bridges. Ilara underwent rigorous training, both physical and mental. She studied everything from advanced piloting to diplomatic protocols. The weight of humanity's future rested on her shoulders, and she was determined not to let anyone down. On the day of the launch, Elara stood before the horizon, its sleek form gleaming in the morning sun. She turned to face the crowd of reporters, officials, and well-wishers gathered to see her off. "Today, we embark on the greatest journey in human history," she began, her voice steady despite the butterflies in her stomach. "We go not just as representatives of Earth, but as envoys of all humanity. Whatever we find out there, whatever challenges we face them together, united as one species reaching out to touch the stars." The crowd erupted in cheers as Elara and her small crew boarded the horizon. As the engines rolled to life, Elara took her seat, her heart pounding with a mixture of fear and exhilaration. The ship lifted off, quickly breaking free of Earth's atmosphere. As they prepared for the jump to faster-than-light speed, Elara took one last look at the beautiful blue marble that was her home. "Ready for jump in 3, 2, 1, the pilot's voice counted down. Elara closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and felt the universe shift around her. When she opened them again, the stars had changed. They were on their way to meet humanity's first alien civilization. Little did Elara know, this journey would test not just her scientific knowledge, but her courage, compassion, and the very essence of what it meant to be human. The adventure that awaited her would reshape not just her own destiny, but that of the entire human race. As the horizon hurtled through the cosmos, Elara allowed herself a small smile. Whatever lay ahead, she was ready to face it. For in this moment, hurtling towards the unknown, she had never felt more alive, more human, or more certain of her place in the universe. The stars streaked by outside the viewports, each one a silent witness to humanity's greatest leap. And somewhere out there, an alien civilization waited, their message of invitation still echoing across the vast expanse of space. The stage was set for a cosmic convergence that would change everything. The crash. The horizon streaked through the cosmos, its advanced warp drive bending space-time around it. Inside, Dr. Elara Vance and her crew monitored their systems, each passing moment bringing them closer to their rendezvous with the unknown. The excitement of first contact mingled with an undercurrent of tension. They were, after all, venturing into uncharted territory. Dr. Vance called out Lieutenant Ravi Sharma, the ship's astrogator. "We're approaching the outer edge of the target system, preparing to disengage warp drive." Elara nodded, her emerald eyes fixed on the holographic display of their destination. "Bring us out nice and easy, Lieutenant. Let's not announce ourselves with a bang." As the horizon decelerated, the streaks of light outside the viewports coalesced into pinpricks of stars. Ahead of them, a red dwarf star glowed dimly, its ruddy light a stark contrast to Earth's yellow sun. "Sensors are picking up multiple planetary bodies," reported Ensign Maria Chen, her fingers dancing over her console. "One of them is in the habitable zone. Wait, that can't be right." Elara leaned forward, her brow furrowed. "What is it, Ensign?" "The planet, it's perfect. Atmospheric composition nearly identical to Earth, similar gravity, even signs of liquid water. It's like we found a second Earth, just redder." The crew exchanged glances of disbelief. Finding a habitable planet was one thing, but one so eerily similar to Earth, it seemed too good to be true. Captain Alexander Volkov, a grizzled veteran of numerous space missions, voiced what they were all thinking. "Keep your guard up, people. If it seems too good to be true, it usually is." As they approached the planet, the horizon's communication array sprung to life. The same rhythmic patterns they had detected from Earth now pulsed stronger, emanating from the planet's surface. "They know we're here," Elara breathed, a mix of excitement and apprehension in her voice. "Prepare for orbital insertion. Let's get a closer look at our new neighbors." But as the horizon maneuvered into orbit, alarms suddenly blared throughout the ship. Red warning lights bathed the bridge in an ominous glow. Massive energy spike detected. Ensign Chen shouted over the din. It's coming from the star. Before anyone could react, a colossal solar flare erupted from the red dwarf, far larger than anything they had ever observed from Earth's sun. The wave of energy slammed into the horizon, overloading its systems in an instant. "We've lost engines," Lieutenant Sharma yelled, frantically trying to regain control. "Shields are down, and we're caught in the planet's gravity well." Captain Volkov's voice cut through the chaos. "Brace for impact. This is going to be a rough landing." Ilara gripped her seat as the horizon plummeted towards the alien world below. The ship's hull groaned under the stress, pieces of the outer plating tearing away as they hit the atmosphere. Through the viewports, Ilara caught glimpses of a landscape both familiar and alien, red-tinged plains, strange crystalline formations, and in the distance, structures that were unmistakably artificial. With a bone-jarring impact, the horizon crashed into the alien soil, skidding across the landscape before coming to a rest in a deep furrow of its own making. For a moment, all was silent save for the hiss of ruptured pipes and the crackle of electrical fires. Ilara's head swam as she regained consciousness. She tasted blood. She had bitten her tongue during the crash. Unbuckling herself with shaky hands, she looked around the bridge. The others were stirring, some with visible injuries but all alive. "Sound off," Captain Volkov commanded, his voice hoarse. "Is everyone all right?" A chorus of pained affirmatives followed. They were battered and bruised, but they had survived. However, as Ilara helped Ensign Chen from her seat, she realized their troubles were far from over. "The ship," Chen coughed, pointing at her damaged console. "Life support is failing. We have maybe a few hours of breathable air left." Captain Volkov's face hardened. "All right, people, we trained for this. Emergency protocols. Suit up. We need to assess our situation and find a way to survive on this rock." As they donned their environmental suits, designed to protect them from hostile atmospheres, Ilara's scientific mind kicked into overdrive. They had come seeking first contact, and now they were stranded on an alien world. Every breath, every step from this point on would be into the absolute unknown. Ilara was the first to step out of the crippled horizon onto alien soil. The red-tinged landscape stretched out before her, bathed in the dim light of the red dwarf sun. Despite the circumstances, she couldn't help but feel a thrill of excitement. She was the first human to set foot on an exoplanet. "Atmosphere reads as breathable," she reported, checking her suit's sensors. "Gravity is slightly lower than Earth normal. Temperature, comfortable." One by one, the rest of the crew emerged from the ship. They stood in a circle, taking in their surroundings with a mix of awe and trepidation. "Those structures," Lieutenant Sharma pointed towards the horizon. "They look like buildings, but I don't see any movement, no signs of life." Captain Volkov nodded grimly. "That's our best bet for shelter and possibly supplies. We'll set up a base camp here at the ship, then send out an exploration team." As they began to unload survival gear from the horizon, Ilara's gaze was drawn to a peculiar formation nearby. What she had initially taken for strange rock formations now revealed themselves to be something far more intriguing. "Captain," she called out, her voice filled with wonder. "I think you need to see this." The crew gathered around Ilara, following her gaze. What they saw left them speechless. Rising from the red soil were structures that could only be described as organic technology. Crystalline spires twisted towards the sky, pulsing with an inner light. Surrounding them were what appeared to be data terminals, their surfaces flickering with alien script. "It's some kind of research station, I think," Ilara hypothesized, her scientific curiosity overriding her caution. She approached one of the terminals, her hand hovering over its shimmering surface. "Dr. Vance, be careful," Captain Volkov warned. "We don't know what." But it was too late. As Ilara's gloved hand made contact with the terminal, it sprang to life. A holographic display burst into existence, filling the air around them with swirling alien glyphs and diagrams. "It's beautiful," Ilara breathed, her eyes wide as she tried to take it all in. Suddenly, the ground beneath their feet began to tremble. The crystalline spires pulsed more rapidly, their light growing brighter. From the earth around them, more structures began to rise. Buildings, monuments, an entire alien city emerging from its slumber. As the crew watched in amazement, a voice spoke, not aloud, but directly into their minds, bypassing language barriers and speaking in concepts and emotions. "Welcome, travelers," the voice resonated within them. "We have awaited your arrival for eons. You who have crossed the stars, you who have braved the cosmic seas, you are the ones we have sought." Ilara stepped forward, her heart pounding. "We come in peace," she projected her thoughts, hoping the alien intelligence would understand. "We received your invitation. We are here to learn, to understand." The voice seemed to chuckle, a sensation of warm amusement washing over them. "Oh, young one, you have much to learn indeed. But first, you must understand. We are not your hosts." Confusion rippled through the crew. If these weren't the aliens who had sent the invitation, then who were they? "We are the caretakers," the voice continued, "the guardians of knowledge left behind by those who came before, and you, brave explorers, are the inheritors of this legacy." As the voice spoke, the holographic display shifted, showing images of an ancient and incredibly advanced civilization. Ilara and her crew watched in awe as the history of an entire alien species played out before them, their rise, their achievements, and ultimately, their departure from the physical realm to a higher plane of existence. "But why us?" Ilara asked, overwhelmed by the magnitude of what they were witnessing. "Why invite humans?" The answer came not in words, but in a flood of impressions and emotions. Images of humanity's struggles and triumphs flashed through their minds. The first steps on the moon, the eradication of diseases, the pursuit of knowledge against all odds. They felt the aliens' admiration for human resilience, curiosity, and potential. "You stand at a crossroads," the voice explained. "Your species teeters on the brink of greatness, yet also on the edge of self-destruction. We offer you a choice, a chance to learn, to grow, to take your place among the cosmic community." Captain Volkov stepped forward, his usually stern face softened with wonder. "And if we accept this legacy, what then?" The alien presence seemed to smile, not visually, but as a warm sensation in their minds. "Then, dear friends, your real journey begins. For there are wonders beyond imagining, and challenges that will test the very essence of your humanity. Are you ready?" Ilara looked at her crew, saw the mix of fear and excitement in their eyes. They had come seeking first contact, and instead found themselves heirs to an unimaginable cosmic legacy. Whatever lay ahead would reshape not just their lives, but the future of humanity itself. With a deep breath, Ilara turned back to the alien presence. "We're ready," she declared, her voice steady and sure. "Show us." And with that, the red world around them began to transform once more, the next chapter of their incredible journey about to unfold. The awakening. As the alien presence's last words echoed in their minds, the world around Ilara and her crew began to shift. The red landscape blurred, colors swirling and merging until they found themselves standing in what appeared to be a vast, shimmering chamber. Walls of pure energy pulsed with information, and in the center stood a pillar of light that seemed to reach into infinity. "This," the alien voice resonated in their thoughts, "is the nexus, the sum of our knowledge, the heart of our legacy." Ilara stepped forward, her hand instinctively reaching out towards the pillar. As her fingers brushed the light, she gasped. Information flooded her mind, snippets of alien history, advanced scientific concepts, and glimpses of cosmic wonders beyond imagination. "Careful, Dr. Vance," Captain Volkov warned, his voice tinged with concern. "We don't know what that might do to a human mind." But Ilara couldn't pull away. The knowledge was intoxicating, filling gaps in human understanding that she hadn't even known existed. "It's incredible," she breathed. "Captain, I think I understand now. This isn't just a library, it's a key." Before she could elaborate, the pillar of light began to coalesce, taking on a more defined shape. The crew watched in awe as it formed into a humanoid figure, tall and lithe, with skin that shimmered like starlight and eyes that held the depth of galaxies. "Greetings, children of Earth," the figure spoke, its voice no longer just in their minds, but resonating through the chamber. "I am Zarek, the last conscious entity of the Luminary, keepers of the cosmic legacy." Captain Volkov stepped forward, standing shoulder to shoulder with Ilara. "We are honored, Zarek, but I must ask, why have you brought us here? What is this legacy you speak of?" Zarek's star-filled eyes seemed to twinkle with amusement. "Direct, aren't you? Very well. Eons ago, my people achieved what you might call enlightenment. We transcended our physical forms, becoming beings of pure energy and thought. But in doing so, we lost something precious: the drive to explore, to grow, to face challenges and overcome them." The alien gestured, and the chamber filled with holographic images of strange worlds and wondrous technologies. "We left behind outposts like this one across the galaxy, each containing a fraction of our knowledge. We hope to find species with the potential to become our successors, to take up the mantle of cosmic guardians." Ilara's mind raced with the implications. "And you believe humanity is ready for this responsibility?" Zarek's expression turned grave. "Ready? Perhaps not. But necessary? Absolutely. There is a darkness stirring in the galaxy, young ones. A threat that we, in our transcended state, are ill-equipped to face. We need beings of flesh and spirit, of passion and determination. We need humanity." The crew exchanged glances, a mix of excitement and trepidation on their faces. Lieutenant Sharma was the first to speak up. "What kind of threat are we talking about?" In response, Zarek waved a hand, and the chamber darkened. A new hologram appeared, showing a mass of writhing shadows that seemed to devour light itself. "We call them the Void, a species so alien, so antithetical to life as we know it, that they seek to unmake reality itself. They hibernate now, but they will awaken soon, and when they do, all of creation will be at risk." The gravity of the situation settled over the humans like a heavy blanket. They had come seeking first contact, only to find themselves thrust into a cosmic conflict beyond their wildest imaginations. Captain Volkov, ever the pragmatist, asked the question on everyone's mind. "How can we possibly hope to face such a threat? We've barely left our own solar system." Zarek's form seemed to brighten, radiating warmth and reassurance. "Alone you cannot, but you will not be alone. The legacy we offer includes knowledge that will advance your civilization by millennia. Moreover, I will accompany you, to guide and to teach." Ilara's scientific curiosity overrode her caution. "You'll come with us. But I thought your people had transcended physical form." The alien's laughter filled the chamber, a sound like chiming crystals. "Indeed we have. But for this task, I am willing to take on a form once more, to walk among you, to learn from you as you learn from me." As if to demonstrate, Zarek's form shifted, becoming more solid, more human. Within moments, a being that could almost pass for a tall, ethereally beautiful human stood before them, still with eyes that held the depths of the cosmos. "Now then," Zarek said, clapping very human-looking hands together, "shall we begin your education?" What followed was a whirlwind of learning and discovery. The Nexus opened its vast stores of knowledge to the human crew, and they dove in with enthusiasm. Ilara found herself absorbing advanced theories of physics that made Earth's most cutting-edge science look primitive. Lieutenant Sharma discovered star charts that mapped not just the Milky Way, but neighboring galaxies as well. Ensign Chen immersed herself in biotechnology that could revolutionize medicine on Earth. Days blended into weeks as they learned, their minds expanding to accommodate knowledge beyond human ken. Zarek was a patient teacher, guiding them through concepts that would have driven lesser minds to madness. But it wasn't all smooth sailing. The human crew struggled with the sheer scope of what they were learning. There were moments of frustration, of doubt, of feeling overwhelmed by the cosmic responsibility being placed on their shoulders. During one such moment, Ilara found herself standing at the edge of the Nexus chamber, staring out at the red landscape of the alien world. Zarek approached, standing silently beside her for a moment before speaking. "You're troubled," the alien observed, not a question but a statement. Ilara nodded, her gaze fixed on the horizon. "It's just so much. The fate of not just Earth, but the entire galaxy resting on us. How can we possibly be ready for this?" Zarek's hand, warm and surprisingly human-like, rested on her shoulder. "You misunderstand, Ilara. We didn't choose humanity because you are ready. We chose you because of your potential to become ready." The alien's words hung in the air, and Ilara found herself turning them over in her mind. "Our potential." "Yes," Zarek continued, a note of admiration in their voice. "In all our searching, we've never encountered a species quite like humanity. You are adaptable, resilient, endlessly curious. You face challenges not with fear, but with determination. You look at the impossible and say, why not?" Ilara couldn't help but smile at that. It was true. Humanity's greatest achievements had always come in the face of seemingly insurmountable odds. Zarek went on, their voice taking on a more serious tone. "But more than that, you have something we luminary lost long ago, the capacity for growth, for change. You can learn, adapt, become more than you are. That is why you are our best hope against the void." As they spoke, Ilara felt a shift within herself. The weight of responsibility remained, but now it was balanced by a sense of purpose, of determination. They had been chosen not because they were perfect, but because they had the potential to become what the galaxy needed. "So," Ilara said, straightening her shoulders, "what's our next step?" Zarek's eyes twinkled with that star-filled light. "Now we prepare for your return to Earth. You carry with you knowledge that will change the course of human history. But more importantly, you carry a warning and a call to action." As they walked back to join the rest of the crew, Ilara's mind raced with possibilities. How would Earth react to their return, to the knowledge they brought, to the news of a cosmic threat and humanity's role in facing it? One thing was certain, nothing would ever be the same again. Humanity stood on the brink of a new era, one that would test them in ways they had never imagined. But as Ilara looked at her crew, at Zarek, she felt a surge of hope. They had come seeking first contact, and instead found a cosmic legacy. Now, it was time to carry that legacy home, to prepare Earth for its greatest challenge and its greatest adventure. As they made final preparations to leave the alien world, Ilara took one last look at the Nexus. The pillar of light pulsed, as if bidding them farewell. She smiled, feeling a mix of excitement and trepidation for what lay ahead. "Ready or not," she murmured, "here we come." And with that, they stepped into the unknown, carrying with them the hopes of not just humanity, but of all sentient life in the galaxy. The journey home would be just the beginning of their grand adventure. The journey home. The red sun of the alien world dipped below the horizon as Ilara, her crew, and their new companion Zarek prepared for their departure. The horizon, miraculously repaired using luminary technology, stood ready, its hull gleaming with an otherworldly sheen. "I still can't believe we're doing this," muttered Lieutenant Sharma, his eyes darting between the ship and Zarek. "We came looking for first contact, and now we're bringing an alien back to Earth." Captain Volkov clapped him on the shoulder. "Buck up, Lieutenant. If you can't handle this, wait till we tell the folks back home about the cosmic horror that wants to eat reality." Their laughter, tinged with nervous energy, cut through the tension. As they boarded the ship, Ilara couldn't help but feel a sense of surreal detachment. So much had changed in so little time. They were no longer just explorers. They were messengers, carriers of a cosmic legacy that would reshape humanity's destiny. Zarek, now appearing as a tall, ethereally beautiful humanoid with silvery skin and eyes that held the depth of galaxies, settled into one of the crew seats. "Your vessel," they mused, running a hand along the console, so quaint, yet so full of potential. "Shall we see what it can really do?" With a thought, Zavik interfaced with the ship's systems. Displays flickered, reconfiguring themselves with alien script and diagrams that made Ilara's head spin. The engine hummed to life, but the sound was different now. Deeper, more resonant, as if the very fabric of space-time was vibrating in harmony. "Strap in, everyone," Captain Volkov commanded, his voice steady despite the extraordinary circumstances. "Something tells me this isn't going to be your typical milk run." As the horizon lifted off, the alien landscape below them shifted and blurred. The red plains and crystalline structures melted away, revealing the true nature of the planet, a vast, sentient machine, a node in a galactic network of knowledge and power. "Farewell, old friend," Zarlik whispered, a note of melancholy in their voice. "May you slumber peacefully until the next worthy souls arrive." With a flash of light that seemed to bend reality itself, the horizon shot into space. Stars streaked by at impossible speeds, the very cosmos seeming to part before them like water before the prow of a ship. This is incredible," Ensign Chen breathed, her eyes wide as she monitored their progress. "We're moving faster than should be physically possible. The things we could learn from this technology." Zarek smiled, a gesture they had clearly been practicing. "Patience, young one. Your people must crawl before you can walk, and walk before you can run. But fear not, you'll be dancing among the stars soon enough." As they journeyed, Zarek continued their education, sharing insights into the nature of the universe that left the human crew in awe. Ilara found herself particularly fascinated by the aliens' explanations of the underlying fabric of reality, a complex tapestry of energy and information that the void sought to unravel. "Think of it like this," Zarek explained, creating a holographic model in the center of the bridge. "Reality as you know it is, but the surface of a vast ocean. The void, they are like a cancer growing in the depths, consuming and corrupting everything they touch. If left unchecked, they will devour all, leaving nothing but nothingness." Captain Volkov frowned, his brow furrowed in concentration. "But how do we fight something like that? We're just one species, barely out of our cosmic cradle." Zarek's eyes twinkled with that familiar starlight. "Ah, but that is precisely why you are our best hope. You see, the luminary, in our transcendence, lost something crucial, the ability to adapt, to change, to evolve. We became static, perfect in our own way, but unable to face a threat that operates outside the bounds of our understanding." The alien gestured to the crew. "Humanity, on the other hand, thrives on change. You adapt, you overcome, you find solutions where we see only problems. Your very imperfection is your greatest strength." As they spoke, the ship suddenly shuddered, alarms blaring across the bridge. Lieutenant Sharma's hands flew across his console, his face pale. "Captain, we've got a problem. There's something out there, something big." The view screen flickered to life, showing a vast expanse of space before them. But it wasn't empty. A writhing mass of darkness loomed ahead, tendrils of void reaching out like grasping fingers. "The void," Zarlik whispered, their voice filled with a mixture of awe and fear. "They're awakening far sooner than we anticipated." Ilara felt her heart racing. This was it, their first real encounter with the cosmic horror they had been warned about. "What do we do?" she asked, her voice surprisingly steady. Zarek's form seemed to shimmer, their eyes blazing with inner light. "We fight," they declared. "Not with weapons, but with will. The void feeds on fear, on despair. We must show it the strength of the human spirit." Captain Volkov nodded grimly. "All right, crew. You heard our alien friend. Whatever happens, we face it together. For Earth, for humanity, for all life in the galaxy." As the tendrils of void reached for their ship, Each member of the crew focused their thoughts, their hopes, their determination. Zarek channeled their energy, creating a shield of pure will around the horizon. The battle that followed was unlike anything Elara could have imagined. It wasn't fought with phasers or photon torpedoes, but with the very essence of what made them human. Every memory of triumph over adversity, every moment of joy and wonder, every ounce of hope for the future, all of it became a weapon against the encroaching darkness. Elara thought of Earth, of the billions of lives depending on them. She thought of the wonders they had seen, the knowledge they had gained. She thought of the future, a future where humanity reached for the stars not in fear, but in hope and unity. As their collective will clashed with the void, reality itself seemed to warp and bend. Stars flickered, space-time rippled, and for a moment that felt like an eternity, the outcome hung in the balance. And then, with a silent explosion of light, the void recoiled. The tendrils of darkness withdrew, retreating back into the depths of space from which they had emerged. Silence fell over the bridge, broken only by the sound of heavy breathing and the hum of the ship's systems. Slowly, hesitantly, smiles began to spread across the faces of the crew. We did it," Ensign Chen said, her voice filled with disbelief and joy. "We actually did it." Zarek nodded, their forms seeming to glow with pride. "You have taken your first step into a larger universe," they said, "and you have proven, beyond any doubt, that humanity is ready for the challenges that lie ahead." As the adrenaline of the moment faded, Elara realized something had changed. The stars outside the view screen were familiar. They were approaching the outer edges of Earth's solar system. Captain Volkov straightened his uniform, a wry smile on his face. "Well, ladies and gentlemen, and our esteemed alien guest, it seems we're home. Now comes the real challenge," explaining all this to the folks back on Earth. As they prepared for re-entry, Elara felt a mix of emotions wash over her. They were returning as heroes, yes, but also as harbingers of a new era for humanity. An era of wonders beyond imagination, but also of challenges that would test them to their very core. The blue marble of Earth grew larger in their view screen, beautiful and fragile in the vastness of space. Elara exchanged glances with her crewmates and with Zarek. Whatever came next, they would face it together. "Home sweet home," she murmured, a smile tugging at her lips. "Ready or not, Earth, the universe is calling, and it's time for humanity to answer." As the horizon began its descent, Elara knew that this was just the beginning. The real adventure and the real challenges still lay ahead. But for the first time since they had set out on this journey, she felt truly, unequivocally ready to face whatever the cosmos might throw their way. After all, they were human, and if there was one thing humans excelled at, it was beating the odds. Earth's dilemma. The horizon pierced through Earth's atmosphere, a streak of fire against the dawn sky. As they descended, Elara could see the glittering lights of a city coming into view. Washington, D.C., their designated landing site. She exchanged a nervous glance with Zarek, who seemed more fascinated than anxious about their impending arrival. "Your world," the alien mused, peering out the view screen, "so vibrant, so full of life. It's beautiful." Captain Volkov's voice crackled over the intercom. "Brace for landing, everyone. And remember, let me do the talking when we touch down. Something tells me the welcoming committee isn't going to be your average customs agents." As the horizon settled onto the tarmac of a military airfield, Elara could see a flurry of activity through the viewports. Vehicles were converging on their position, and figures in hazmat suits were approaching cautiously. "Well," Lieutenant Sharma quipped, "at least they're taking alien biosecurity seriously." The crew exchanged nervous chuckles as they prepared to disembark. Zarek, sensing their apprehension, placed a reassuring hand on Elara's shoulder. "Fear not, my friends. This is but the first step in a grand journey." As the airlock hissed open, they were greeted by a wall of bright lights and the unmistakable sound of weapons being readied. A voice boomed through a megaphone. Crew of the Horizon, please exit the vessel slowly with your hands visible. Any hostile actions will be met with force. Captain Volkov led the way, his hands raised. This is Captain Alexander Volkov of the Horizon. We come in peace, and we bring important news for Earth's leaders. As the crew filed out, there was an audible gasp from the assembled officials when Zarek emerged. The alien's silvery skin shimmered in the floodlights, their eyes reflecting the stars above. A figure stepped forward, removing their hazmat helmet to reveal a stern-faced woman with graying hair. I'm General Laura Chen, United Earth Defense Force. Captain Volkov, would you care to explain why you've brought an extraterrestrial being to our planet without authorization? Before Volkov could respond, Zarek stepped forward, bowing slightly. Greetings, General Chen. I am Zarek, last conscious entity of the Luminary. I come as a friend and ally to Earth in its time of need. The next few hours were a whirlwind of debriefings, medical examinations, and increasingly heated discussions. The crew of the Horizon found themselves separated, each whisked away to different secure facilities for questioning. Ilara, however, insisted on staying with Zarek, arguing that her expertise as a xenobiologist was crucial for smooth communication. In a high-security conference room deep beneath the Pentagon, Ilara and Zarek faced a panel of Earth's most powerful leaders. Military commanders, political figures, and scientific experts from around the globe had been hastily assembled to hear their story. As Ilara recounted their journey, the crash, the discovery of the alien legacy, and the looming threat of the void, she could see the expressions on the faces before her shift from skepticism to shock, and finally to a mix of fear and wonder. When she finished, there was a moment of stunned silence before the room erupted into a cacophony of voices. Questions, demands, and exclamations of disbelief all blended together until the President of the United States stood up, raising her hands for silence. Dr. Vance Zarek, she began, her voice steady but her eyes betraying her inner turmoil. What you're proposing, it's beyond anything we've ever contemplated. You're asking us to believe not only that we're not alone in the universe, but that we're key players in a cosmic conflict. That's a lot to take in. Zarek nodded solemnly. We understand your hesitation, but time is of the essence. The void stirs, and Earth must be prepared. A gruff-looking general leaned forward, his bushy eyebrows furrowed. And why should we trust you? For all we know, this could be some elaborate alien invasion scheme. Ilara felt a surge of frustration. With all due respect, General, if Zarek wanted to conquer Earth, they could have done so without all this elaborate storytelling. The technology they possess is far beyond anything we can comprehend, let alone defend against. The room fell silent as the implications of her words sank in. It was the Chinese premier who spoke next, his voice thoughtful. If what you say is true, then we face two paths. We can bury our heads in the sand, pretend this never happened, or we can embrace his cosmic legacy and take our place among the stars. The question is, are we ready for such a monumental step? Debate raged for hours. Some argued for caution, for keeping the truth hidden from the public to prevent panic. Others pushed for full disclosure, arguing that humanity deserved to know the truth about their place in the universe. Through it all, Ilara found herself becoming an impromptu ambassador, not just for the Horizon's crew, but for the very idea of cosmic cooperation. She spoke passionately about the wonders they had seen, the knowledge they had gained, and the potential future that awaited humanity if they dared to reach for it. As the sun began to rise, casting its golden light through the high windows of the conference room, a tentative consensus was reached. Earth would not shy away from its cosmic destiny, but neither would it rush headlong into the unknown. The president stood, addressing the room with newfound determination. We will form a global task force, combining our best scientific minds and resources. We'll study the knowledge brought back by the Horizon, and we'll prepare, not just for the threat of the void, but for our emergence onto the galactic stage. She turned to Zarek, extending her hand. We accept your offer of alliance and guidance. Together, we'll face whatever the universe has in store for us." As Zarek clasped the president's hand, Ilara felt a weight lift from her shoulders. It wasn't going to be easy. There would be fear, resistance, and countless challenges ahead. But humanity had taken its first real step into a larger universe. In the days that followed, the world changed. As carefully managed news releases brought the truth to light, Ilara watched from the sidelines as humanity grappled with its new reality. There was fear, yes, and confusion, but there was also hope, wonder, and a surging wave of unity as people from all walks of life came together in the face of cosmic revelations. Research facilities sprang up around the globe, dedicated to unraveling the mysteries of the Luminary legacy. The United Nations reformed into the Earth Confederation, a unified governing body better equipped to handle interstellar affairs. And in orbit, construction began on humanity's first true starship, built with a fusion of human ingenuity and luminary knowledge. Through it all, Ilara found herself at the center of a whirlwind. She split her time between working with Zarek to translate alien knowledge into forms humanity could understand, and acting as a public face for Earth's new cosmic initiative. It was exhausting, exhilarating work. One evening, as she stood on the balcony of her new apartment in the newly christened Cosmic City, a sprawling complex of research facilities and diplomatic quarters, Ilara gazed up at the stars. They seemed different now, no longer distant and unreachable, but full of promise and challenge. Zarek joined her, their silvery forms shimmering in the moonlight. "You've done well, Ilara. Your people have embraced their destiny with a vigor that surprises even me." Ilara smiled, though it was tinged with wariness. "We've still got a long way to go. There's so much to learn, so much to prepare for." The alien nodded, their star-filled eyes scanning the horizon where the skeletal frame of the new starship was visible, a promise of adventures to come. "Indeed, but if there's one thing I've learned about humanity, it's that you thrive on challenges. The road ahead will not be easy, but I believe you will face it with the same courage and determination that brought you to the stars in the first place." As they stood there, human and alien united in common purpose, Ilara felt a surge of pride and hope. Whatever the future held, whatever wonders or terrors awaited them in the depths of space, humanity would face it head-on. The stars were calling, and Earth was finally ready to answer. Humanity's stand. 5 years had passed since the Horizon's return and Earth's introduction to its cosmic legacy. The planet had transformed in ways that would have been unimaginable half a decade ago. Gleaming cities reached for the stars, their architecture a blend of human aesthetics and luminary efficiency. The skies were filled with the contrails of atmospheric shuttles, ferrying people and resources to and from the growing orbital habitats. Dr. Ilara Vance stood on the bridge of the Earth Confederation's flagship, the Stellar Horizon, a vessel that dwarfed the original Horizon in both size and capability. Around her, a crew of Earth's finest worked in harmony with holographic interfaces derived from luminary technology. "Status report," Ilara commanded, her voice steady despite the tension thrumming through the ship. Lieutenant Commander Yuki Tanaka, formerly Ensign Chen of the original Horizon mission, responded crisply. "All systems nominal, Admiral. The fleet is in position and awaiting your orders." Ilara nodded, her gaze fixed on the vast starfield displayed on the main view screen. It was still hard to believe sometimes. Admiral Ilara Vance, commander of Earth's first interstellar defense fleet. The years had changed her, tempered her scientific curiosity with the steel of leadership. A shimmer of silver announced Zarek's arrival on the bridge. The luminary had become a constant presence in Ilara's life, a bridge between two civilizations and a font of cosmic wisdom. "It's time," Zarek said softly, their eyes reflecting the starlight. "The void approaches." As if on cue, alarms blared across the ship. The star field on the viewscreen distorted, space itself seeming to warp and tear. From the rift emerged a sight that chilled Ilara to her core, a roiling mass of darkness that seemed to devour light itself. "All ships, battle stations," Ilara commanded, her voice carrying across the fleet via subspace communications. "Remember your training. Remember what we're fighting for. The void ends here." The next hours were a blur of frantic action. The combined fleet of Earth and its newly forged alien allies engaged the tendrils of void that reach hungrily for inhabited worlds. Beams of concentrated energy, harnessing the power of stars, lanced out from Earth ships, pushing back the encroaching darkness. But for every tendril destroyed, two more seemed to take its place. The void was relentless, a force of cosmic entropy that sought to unravel the very fabric of reality. "It's not working," Captain Volkov's voice crackled over the comms from his command of the flanking destroyer group. "Conventional weapons aren't enough. We need something more." Ilara's mind raced, recalling every scrap of knowledge she'd gleaned from the Luminary archives over the past 5 years. There had to be something, some key they were missing. Zarek placed a hand on her shoulder, their touch conveying a spark of inspiration. "Remember, Ilara, the void feeds on fear, on entropy, on the dissolution of complexity. To defeat it, we need the opposite." In that moment, Ilara understood. She turned to her communications officer. "Open a channel to the entire fleet. No, to every human settlement in range. I want every soul who can hear my voice to listen carefully." As the channel opened, Ilara took a deep breath. "This is Admiral Vance. We stand at the precipice, facing a threat that seeks to unravel all we know and love. But we are not alone, and we are not without hope. The void thrives on destruction, but we thrive on creation." Her voice grew stronger, filled with conviction. "I need every one of you, human, alien, any sentient being who values life and complexity, to focus. Think of what you love, what you hope for, what you dream of creating. Artists, envision your greatest works. Scientists, contemplate the mysteries you long to solve. Dreamers, imagine the futures you wish to build." Across the fleet, across Earth and its colonies, billions of minds turned from fear to hope, from despair to determination. Ilara felt it, a growing wave of creative energy, of defiant complexity in the face of encroaching simplicity. "Now," she commanded, her voice ringing with authority, "channel that energy through your ships, your homes, your very beings. Let's show the void the true power of life." Zarek's form began to glow, channeling the collective will of billions. The Luminary's eyes blazed with starfire as they interfaced with the ship's systems, creating a conduit for the surging wave of creative energy. From the stellar horizon, a beam of pure possibility lanced out, not destructive energy, but creative potential given form. It struck the heart of the void, and for a moment, the universe seemed to hold its breath. The darkness writhed, recoiling from the light of billions of minds united in purpose. Across the fleet, similar beams emerged as other ships followed the stellar horizon's lead. The void twisted, torn between its nature to consume and the overwhelming force of creation being thrust upon it. And then, with a silent explosion that rippled across space-time itself, the void collapsed. The rift sealed, reality reasserting itself with a burst of newborn stars, where once there had been only darkness. Silence fell across the bridge of the stellar horizon, broken only by the soft beeping of consoles and the ragged breathing of the crew. Slowly, incredulously, smiles began to spread. We did it," Lieutenant Commander Tanaka whispered, her voice filled with awe. "We actually did it." Cheers erupted across the ship, across the fleet, across every human settlement that had witnessed the battle. Humanity, along with its alien allies, had faced the greatest threat in cosmic history and emerged victorious. As the celebration raged around her, Ilara felt a profound sense of change settling over her. She turned to Zarek, seeing in the alien's eyes a reflection of her own emotions. "What now?" she asked softly. "Where do we go from here?" Zarek smiled, a gesture they had perfected over the years. Now, my dear friend, we truly begin. The void was but one of many challenges awaiting in the cosmos, but you've proven yourselves worthy inheritors of the luminary legacy, and more than that, you've shown the galaxy the true potential of humanity. Ilara nodded, turning her gaze back to the starfield, now sprinkled with the light of newborn suns. The universe suddenly seemed vaster, filled with infinite possibilities. In the years that followed, humanity's journey among the stars truly began. With the threat of the void defeated, Earth turned its newfound knowledge and unity towards exploration, diplomacy, and the kind of scientific advancement that had once been the stuff of science fiction. The stellar horizon, under Ilara's command, became the flagship of a new era of cosmic cooperation. Humans worked alongside a growing alliance of alien species, tackling the mysteries of the universe together. New worlds were discovered, ancient puzzles unraveled, and the boundaries of knowledge pushed ever further. And through it all, Ilara never forgot the lesson learned in that final battle against the void. The true strength of humanity lay not in weapons or technology, but in its boundless creativity, its relentless hope, and its ability to unite in the face of overwhelming odds. As she stood on the observation deck of the stellar horizon, watching a new star system come into view, Ilara smiled. The universe was vast, full of wonders and dangers alike, but humanity was ready. They had faced the darkness and emerged stronger, wiser, more united. The cosmic convergence had begun, and humanity's greatest adventure was just beginning.